Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, keeping safe and looking after those around you at the moment, and yeah, just doing what you can to stop the spread of the virus and keeping sensible, safe, everything that comes with that. So yeah, that's what I had to kick off with there. UK went pretty much into lockdown yesterday. You're only allowed to go out with one other person that you are isolating with, to my knowledge. You can go out for a run or a walk or a bit of exercise like that as long as you keep your distance, which is at least 2 meters, I think. Basically, everything is shut and it's a very quiet and peaceful vibe outside. Not a lot is going on. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of sober up the content for one or two videos and just, yeah, bring it back down to earth a bit and think about what we have, what we don't have at this moment of time, and evaluate everything and kind of see where we're at the moment in the bass world with everything going on. Went on Twitter late last night and asked you guys if you had any topics or questions relating to what we are going through right now that you wanted to see me discuss or yeah, just talk about on the channel. So no script for this video, just gonna keep it pretty chill and calm, laid back, stripped back. That is very much the vibe at the moment, with everything being so kind of, yeah, quiet and peaceful, as I said, in the surrounding environment where I am anyway. So yeah, just gonna look at a couple of these questions and topics, give a few quick answers, and ba-bam. I did send the tweet out quite late, so I know that wouldn't have been or given a lot of time for you to give a topic or question for today's video, but I will be maybe doing another one of these, maybe in a live stream. It will be on Thursday. Yeah, if you have more questions, topics, then definitely feel free to drop them in the comments below, and yeah, if there are enough, if there's enough variety, then I can do another video on this topic in this way. Okay, here we go. First up, how about the effect coronavirus could have on the scene? Obviously it impacts touring, shows, etc. But what about it providing dedicated time for producers to focus on new projects, collabs that otherwise might not have happened, the rise of live streaming bedroom sets? Okay, so quite a lot to address in this question. How about the effect coronavirus could have on the scene? Well, I think it will be both good and bad. Short and simple answer to that first question. In the short term, obviously, as you mentioned here, we will get more people working on their music and kind of honing their craft and whatnot, having more time in isolation to work on the music. Downside being that obviously these people aren't touring, they're not playing their music out to people, which for many of them is the most enjoyable part about it. Something I'm not sure people have brought up enough or all that much is the mental health of producers and artists, musicians overall, generally. With them being in isolation, you know, it's one thing saying all this amazing new music is going to come out and it's going to be great. Can't wait for all of that if and when it does happen. But, you know, these people are in isolation even more. You know, for some people, for some producers, they will love that. That is what they love most about being a musician, the whole thing of being inside and just having a set amount of time to work on new music, their art, their craft. But for a lot of them, the social aspect of it, the live aspect of it, playing to people, spreading the joy and passion of playing their music to people in a live environment. And yeah, for those who enjoy that the most and not having it at all, having gone from playing so many shows, is going to be quite difficult for them to handle, I think. And we have to look out for those producers, those musicians, artists, and so on. I think we as fans, as consumers, have to be there for them to make them feel better about their situation, because yeah, I think for some it will be really difficult, that whole thing of being in isolation and not being able to have that connection with the people who essentially make them, or you know, enable them to do what they do and what they love most. So yeah, there will be both good and bad, in short. It will provide more time, of course, for them to work on new music, and I've heard a lot about that, you know, artist after artist saying the amount of amazing music that's going to come out, oh my word, it's going to be amazing. So many people having all this new time just to work on their art and stuff. But for me, it's the same minds, you know, and I'm left thinking this goes back to the whole thing of music being rushed at the moment. And I think the whole thing of producers having suddenly this abundance of time with which to work on their new music, it shouldn't really be a thing. Like, you'd like to think that they have enough time, you know, anyway, to work on their music and make it as sound and rounded as they would like. Not that it's being rushed or hurried in any way. So for me, knowing it's going to be the same people releasing the same music, no one really coming back into the scene, maybe apart from Skrillex, who has got a couple of albums apparently on the way. For the most part, I'm left thinking, same people, why would the ideas be any different, as I mentioned? If you object to that, then you are supporting the idea that music is rushed at the moment and it is hurried, and that it is a bit of a revelation that people have all this new time. The fact that people are saying that means that there is a thing in this scene at the moment of the music being rushed and hurried and all of that. What I'm saying is it shouldn't really be an amazing thing that they now have all of this time, when that should always be the case, really. The rise of live streaming bedroom sets, and I've had a few people ask me about this particular topic as if it's something to have an opinion on. Can't really think of something that is bad with them, but that is just me looking at it on a surface level. But for me at the moment, I think that is how we should be looking at it, you know. So many people, producers, fans, and everyone involved is getting so much enjoyment from it that I don't want to ruin anyone's fun at this point. You know, there may be a couple of things that aren't tasteful about it, but at the moment I can't think of them at all. Any drawbacks you have at the moment with the rise in live streaming, then do let me know and drop them in the comments below. I would be, as I said, again, intrigued to hear what you have to say on that matter. While producers can take as much time to work on each project, what do you believe should be the minimum amount of time a producer should take between releases? A couple of months, 1 year, even longer? And then we have a reply here, which I thought was quite good. That's going to change a lot case by case. Porter Robinson takes forever in between releases, but his releases are so big it doesn't matter. However, smaller artists need to release more or else they won't get the traction they need. And then again, in response to that, Rick Gizmo has given Subtronics as an example, which I thought was a good one. Yeah, for me, there isn't a definite amount of time that one should have between one release and another. I think it's completely up to them and how they want to do it, how they feel comfortable releasing their own music, working with their own schedule, how they get stuff done. All of that, it's all relative, if you get me. Yeah, just completely up to how they want to do it for me. But that point is important because it goes back to the whole thing of, you know, being rushed, being hurried. I'm never going to be for that, and I don't think in that kind of situation a producer is working to their own schedule, their own work rate, how they like to get things done. They'll all say, you know, I like being rushed and I like having, you know, a bit of a pressure and a deadline and whatnot. It makes me do stuff. But I think really, ideally, they would love to have as much time as they would want and not have it impinged upon them, if you will. And yeah, be it short, long, in the middle, just allow themselves to make it up for them, whatever they want to do. I also found this point quite interesting. However, smaller artists need to release more or else they won't get the traction they need. Okay, let me tell you something right here. As someone who's been listening to this music for around 10 years now, day in, day out, knows what works and what doesn't, reviews it, I would say that no, you do not need to release as much as you can. Do not do that. If you're a smaller producer, make the ideas worthwhile and different, make them stand out, make the production rounded, full, make everything connect, and just so much more. I know of so many producers who are up and coming, and I've heard 10, 15, 20, maybe even more tunes from them so far in the last couple of years or so. And I've got to a point where I don't want to hear anything more from them, really. They've kind of had their chances, and I don't feel like I can trust their production style or way of making music anymore. None of it has done anything for me. I'm left wondering about what could have been. It's all just following trends and stuff like that, and yeah, just doesn't offer anything new. And beyond all of that, the production is off, and it just sounds hastily put together, rushed, and just not something on a lot of fronts that I want to hear again. So yeah, I would say to everyone who is an up-and-coming budding producer starting out, trying to make their way, concentrate on making a few tunes over the course of a year that are really, really honed in. Enough time spent on them and offering something new, because you don't want it to become part of the background and what we've all heard before. Otherwise, then it will just become something, yeah, that doesn't, yeah, again, offer anything new, and which is a bit, yeah, not worth it. So spend your time, hone your craft, don't release loads, because it makes you untrustworthy as a producer with your music. So yeah, take your time and make it worthwhile, is what I would say. And final question here, which is relating to something I talked about earlier, but with everyone cooped up in their homes, do you think we're about to see a massive boost in creativity relating to bass music, or perhaps more of the same? Again, for me, either I see it as, you know, same people, same ideas, same techniques and whatnot, nothing will really change, or these people have been working under shackles and their music has been rushed and hurried by labels, and so that is why we will get a new influx of ideas and innovation, inventiveness, if you will. We also can't forget, of course, the part that touring plays in that, the time that will free up as well. So it may not just be down to people being rushed and hurried by whoever and whatnot. But in summation, in response to that question, I would have to say, yeah, whilst we may get a load of new ideas and innovation, invention, whatever, flavour, colour, all of that, I think for me, it has to be a thing of I will believe it when I see it. But yeah, gonna end that one there. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and got something out of it. And also thank you to those who sent in questions and topics. I didn't answer many, but those were the ones I got that were linking what we are going through right now to the bass music world. There were a couple of other questions, but they were ones I think for another day, another video, another whole topic, if you will. Again, if you have some more questions, topics and stuff that you want to see me cover or talk about in a future video, then drop them in the comments down below. I will cover them if there are enough of them, and if they are varied enough, in the next video on Thursday. So yeah, keep safe, keep sensible, and look after those around you who are with you in isolation, and also keep it naughty. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, whatever it may be. Thank you all again as well for your continued support of the channel. I'm happy to be providing content in this difficult time, and yeah, we are experiencing it together and making of it what we can and having fun, and yeah, pushing the scene forward in the best way possible. So yeah, big love to you all, and again, see you in the next one. Peace out.